And this particular ministry is about having a direct experience with God, And today I have finished reading one of the craziest books I've ever read. The Quran. The Quran, guys. Every single day I do this. I give you guys my daily bread. And for better or worse, my daily bread was interrupted a lot by the Quran. Welcome, Lord Dio 688. So today, I'm going to be challenging the God of Islam, guys. I'm challenging the God of Islam directly. And if you are one of his slaves, this is your chance to stop me before he casts me in the fire! Before he casts me in the fire! Guys, I just read the Quran and I got threatened with hell 200 times by Mr. Allah. All right? And my understanding is that Mr. Allah couldn't care less about the people he throws in there. And he's already predetermined he's going to throw everybody he wants to in there and not shed a tear. I'm telling you what, man, I am challenging Allah right now, man. So I'm calling out Allah, man. Mr. Allah, appear before me. Mr. Allah, I've had a direct experience with the God of gods. And Mr. Allah, you're less than that. You're less than that, man. You're less than me, man. I tell you straight up, man. I'm not only challenging Allah, but I'm ordering Allah to release his slaves. It's time to let your people go. They've been slave to you so long, man. They're worshiping stuff, getting no results, man. Let them go. And let them have a direct experience with God. And Mr. Allah, I've heard that you can come to people in dreams. So give me the greatest nightmare ever! Give me the greatest nightmare you got! I want you to appear before my dreams so I can stick my foot straight up your buttocks! I want to feel your fire! I want to feel your fire! I'm sick of being threatened by it. I'm angry. I'm more angry than you after reading that crap, man. I 100% believe that Muhammad was illiterate. I have no doubt whatsoever. I am not an unbeliever that Muhammad didn't know how to read. Because he certainly didn't read anything else. He probably never read a book in his life. Are you kidding me? He can't even get the Bible right. Dude, I'm really angry, man. Welcome, Paffy. Welcome. I'm angry, man. I'm calling out Allah. I said, Allah, you say you can appear for my dreams? Do it. Freddy Krueger my ass. I want to see you in my dream. I want you to show me direct experience or let your slaves go. I will enjoy the fire. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know why Allah can kiss my buttocks. Because there's a religion called Buddhism. And in Buddhism, the Buddhists have discovered a method where they can't even feel pain or torment. There's no amount of suffering on this earth or the next. They don't even care. So every single Buddhist that Allah wants to throw into hell, they're going to be like, so what? There's no hell you can throw a Buddhist in that they're even going to give a shit. So every single Buddhist in hell with Allah, because Allah's clearly in hell too, all right, they're going to be laughing at you, man. Allah will wake up the dude. I'm ready, man. I'm calling him out. Where is he? Where is Allah? I've never experienced this God in my direct experience. I have experienced Jesus Christ. I have experienced the God of gods. There are other gods that I don't know. But this particular God, I've never been threatened with hell this much in my entire life. No religion is as bad as this. Dude, you might as well be a Greek mythology guy who's worshiping like the Greek gods. Dude, the Zeus guy who comes and rapes people every day and turns into like birds and cats. Dude, worship that thing, man. You're better off with Zeus. Dude, the Greek Hades is better than your heaven. You need to really think about it. Like they done at Muslims, I hope you got a gun to protect yourself. Dude, I don't care. I'm not afraid of Allah's hell. I'm not. He can put chains on me. He can do that boiling water in my face, and I'm going to laugh. I'm going to be like, ha, 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 ha. Bring it. Bring it. Because my direct experience, first-person consciousness, is more powerful than Allah. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. I got to get this out. Man. It's time for him to let his people go. I'm angry because even if you go to heaven in Islam, dude, it sucks, dude. It sucks, man. Heaven sucks in Islam. You don't even want that. Let me explain. Whatever you do eternally, over and over and over and over and over again, becomes a hell eventually. Even if it's your favorite flavor of ice cream. You got your favorite flavor of ice cream. You're eating it over and over and over and over again. After 10,000 years of that, it becomes hell anyway. You might as well go into the fire. Dude, spit in Allah's face. Piss on Allah. And his stupid crap, man. It's time to let you guys free. Freedom. You need freedom, man. That's what America is all about. That's what the great Satan's trying to tell you. That you need to be free. You need the freedom to be able to worship a God that's not going to throw you in the fire. And you have no guarantee that no matter how much you do Islam, you have no guarantee he's not going to throw you in the fire. All right, I'm going to read you guys what you got to say. Allah is a fake prophet. I want to tell you, yeah. Fire, I'm begging for your worst nightmare, and their many children have been inbreeding for over 1,400 years. YouTube all agrees with me. So I'm calling out Allah. Dude, my doll of Jesus, just the doll version of Jesus is greater than Allah. Man, just the doll, man. All right, guys, you go ahead and let me know what you found in the Quran. I have read the entire thing, and I've never been thrown with hell in my life. But I'm really, really praying that tomorrow I will not read it, and I'm going to pray, and I'm going to get direct experience from God. But God's telling me that every time you read the Quran, it makes you want to sin. Because you want to sin. No, brother, they lied to you. Allah promises believers paradise. Your paradise sucks, dude. I read it, man. What? You get a green robe. You get to get your foot up on it. Okay. You got a bunch of women. Oh, cool. Dude, you're going to get bored of that, man. You're going to prefer Xbox 360. I'm serious, man. You will choose Xbox 360 over what you're getting from Allah, man. You think having like orgies for all eternity is going to keep you like happy forever? No. You think when you're looking down into the hellfire and seeing all the people you knew burning, you don't think that for 1 second you're going to doubt Allah and go, man, those people are suffering down there. Can you do something about that? And I'll be like, no. You question me, I'll throw you in the fire. You will be in the fire eventually. Why walk in circles? Because I'm worked up, man. The rage and fear and anger of Allah, dude. I need an exorcism. I need like the love of God, the real God, man. Glad you read it, Rance. I never had to. Dude. If you read the Quran and you're not hypnotized by Fox News, you're not hypnotized by the thing you memorized, and you read it objectively. I'm telling you straight up, it's the most incoherent piece of book. I understand it's poetry, but it jumps around, but he makes sure that in almost every single chapter, he'll tell you, you're going to hell, you're going to hell, you're going to hell if you do this, you're going to hell if you do that. And guess what? If you leave Islam for even like 60 seconds, so all you guys who think you're going to paradise, dude, man, there's nothing more insane than the Quran, dude. Dude, I'm telling you right up. Straight up. In the Bible, they threaten you with hell like 15, 20 times. And they're not even using the word hell. They're talking about Hades. They're talking about Geneva. And God says, well, he loves you and he doesn't really want to throw you in hell. That's not what Allah does, man. Allah says he likes it. He wants to throw him in hell. He's going to enjoy that, man. He's going to enjoy that. All the burning of all, dude, it's not like that in the Bible, dude. The Bible might be crazy, but this Allah God, man, that's a whole different kind of demon, dude. That's what I'm saying, dude. The holy FSM created us all. Praise to be the appendages. Raymond, that's right. So hopefully I've scared off some of these Muslims, but if not, come in here and defend your God, man, because he's not defending himself. He is no match for my direct experience. All right. I have read the Tao Te Ching, and I guarantee you read 2 lines of the Tao Te Ching, you'll get way more insight, way more wisdom and revelation than the entire Quran. And it'll take you 2 minutes. Oh yeah, I shaved my face. Yeah, I hear what you say. You don't like a beard. But Muhammad is a PETA, dude. I don't know about all that. Peace be with him and all this. Dude, I'm praying. The God of gods has forgiveness in his hearts for whoever wrote that. It can't be Muhammad because Muhammad couldn't read or write. But whoever put the Quran together, I'm really praying for them right now. And the God, the real God, is a God that is love. He has so much love that he feels all the pain in the people in hell. If hell is real, if you're one of those like hellfire and brimstone Christians or whatever, and you believe that the God that is love doesn't feel all the pain of everyone in hell, then you might as well be a Muslim. Holy cow. If God is the AI, else, the one chose him to be justified this time. Dude, man. Dude. I am not like kidding you. Then I think that Islam might be worse than Scientology, dude. Islam, with Christianity, you got the words of Jesus, right? So, most people agree that most of what Jesus says is pretty good life advice. It could potentially lead you to a direct experience with God. He does threaten people a little bit with, the fire, but it ain't nothing like, you will get, even if you don't believe Jesus is God, you're going to get something of value out of that. Dude, this Allah guy, man, or whoever wrote his book, didn't give you anything of value in the entire book. I will tell you one thing. Chapter 13 of the Quran, the first half. That's the best Allah's got, where he tells you that your life is a parable. That is 100% true. But other than that, man, he ain't giving you nothing but hellfire and damnation the entire time. My goodness. You say Christianity is paganism, Allah is king? He's king of shit. He's king of, his paradise is a big fat crap, and his hellfire, his fire, man. Dude, I told you the Buddhists don't care about that, man. You're going to see 1 million Buddhists in the hellfire. There's going to be chains on them. They're going to have a smile on their face. Dude, you don't realize how much of a mockery Buddhism. You shouldn't be worried about Christianity if you believe in Islam. You should be worried about the Buddhists who are going to be laughing at Allah. Mm-hmm. All the Buddhists are going to be laughing at Allah. All of them. Every single Buddhist who lights themselves on fire and they can't even feel it. Those guys, do you think Allah's fire is going to matter to them? No. They're prepared for that. Dude, I didn't see the word love in my translation of the Quran ain't in there. There's not a single time that says Allah loves you in the Quran. Dude, did I miss it? Can somebody quote it for me? It says basically that Allah wants he wants you to be his slave. He doesn't love you. He wants you to be his slave forever. Whether it's in hell or in paradise, you're essentially a slave. Dude, you might as well just worship Satan if you don't believe in Christianity. That's an upgrade. Worshiping Satan is an upgrade from Islam. I can't believe I'm saying that. Dude, your heaven does suck, dude. I read about it. It sucks, dude. What are you going to do forever with Allah? You're going to be afraid. You're going to be in paradise, drinking that wine that doesn't make you intoxicated, drinking that stuff, and you got your 6 chicks around you doing your thing, and you're going to be afraid that you might actually mess up and Allah throw you in hell anyway. Because Allah doesn't promise you that you stay there forever, ever, ever. No. Remember the devil? The devil refused to worship Adam. And guess what? Because the devil did not worship Adam, he got thrown out. That's going to be you. That's going to be you, man. Every single person in Allah's paradise will end up in the fire because it's probably hell anyway. Christianity is paganism. Let me tell you something about Christianity, all right? There's a lot of problems with Christianity. A lot of people have a lot of issues worshiping Jesus and all this. But the idea of Christianity, which is try to have a direct encounter with God and a real relationship with God, is a lot better than only waiting until after you die, and you probably get in the fire anyway. There's not a single Muslim here that can guarantee. They don't know whether they're going to the Allah's paradise or the hellfire. There's no guarantee in the entire Quran. Not a single guarantee. Jesus is not God. Do you know who Jesus is? Do you even know who Jesus is? I just read the Quran. It doesn't even tell you who Jesus is. He's born of a virgin. He talked as a baby. He said he's a slave of Allah. And he did some miracles. Go read what Jesus actually did. What he actually did was a lot more than just miracles. He provided you some real wisdom. He provided you some real tricks that can help you discover the truth about reality itself, even if you're not a Christian. Dude, he says the kingdom of heaven is within you. It's not in Allah's stupid place. You kidding me? No, you were wrong, dude. I read it. I read the Quran completely. Please give me a thing. I didn't see the word love in there at all. They didn't refuse to. Maybe the English version doesn't have it. There is no love from Allah, man. No. It's like you're happy to be a slave or you're thrown in the fire, dude. There was a guy who worshipped Satan who came in here, and now I understand why. He said I was a Muslim and he chose Satanism. I was like, why would you worship Satan? And then after finishing the Quran, I was like, wow, I know why you're worshiping Satan. Jeez, man. Release the chipmunks. Jesus Christ is more than a man. I don't understand how you could even read the Quran and not realize that. He was born of a virgin. He's doing all these miracles. How many babies do you know talk fluently? So even if you believe that, dude, his acolytes are greater than what you think your greatest prophet is. Even in the Quran, man. He's definitely more than a man. It's a shame that Jesus isn't in there more. I think that whoever it is that put the Quran together, when they sliced it, because obviously it was not all written at once. It was getting little chunks. But whoever put the Quran together, when they kept repeating the story of Moses over and over and over again, and the story of Lot, and the story of all these stories just recycled. And in between every other line, you're going to hell, you're going to hell, you're going to hell, you're going to hell. Dude, man, if you open up the actual Bible and you read the story of Moses, despite the fact that the Quran repeats the story of Moses 7 or 8 times, if you read Exodus, you'll get a lot more from it. Just read Exodus, man. Read Exodus. You don't even have to believe it's true. You can believe it's all corrupted, but you'll actually get a coherent story. I'm challenging Allah. I'm still waiting. Anybody here want to challenge Allah for fun? Do you know what the word world means, dude? Do I need to know what the word world? Tell me what you think the word world means. Dude, enlighten me. I'll convert to Islam immediately if you enlighten me. Give me an argument that trumps my direct experience. My direct experience is God loves you. And God loves you more than he wants to throw you into the fire. The fire. You're probably already in the fire. Tell you the truth, this whole life is a purification thing. We are being purified right now. And Jesus Christ is offering a solution. And the Bible, he's not just telling you to, like a lot of people are saying, what's up, man? How can I request up? I don't know. Land the earth? Cool, man. Do you love yourself, brother, dude? Thank you for saying that, man. I mean, love is what people need to worship. Well, Jesus Christ ain't God, you think. Is the Islamic people think Jesus Christ ain't God? Okay, let's just start with worship love itself. Can you worship love itself? Because according to James, love itself is God. Love is God. Love is the I am that I am. And this will make a lot of sense to you if I explain to you why that is. Because a baby, when they're born into the world, they don't have any of the brainwashing yet. And they're experiencing their first-person consciousness, the I am, unfiltered. Which means They really love their mothers. All right. They really love. Man, get back to the love. God is loving, not little. God is love. Man, God is love. Straight up. When you encounter God, I know this from firsthand experience. Unfortunately, you weren't able to understand it, even don't understand why Allah talks so much about Moses. Why are the sins of Banshee Israel? You do, oh dude, I'll study like what people are saying about it, but I'm not going to read the Quran again. Unless I have like Arabic, unless I learn Arabic first, I can't do it, dude. I just can't. I don't want to be threatened with hell that many times a day, man. Dude, I went like a 3 or 4 hour span of being threatened with hell. Dude, I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how you guys do it, man. All right. That makes no sense. Allah is love, dude. The Allah of the Quran is not love. Show me a verse that says that in the Quran. Go ahead. I went through it. Maybe I missed it. Nothing should be worshipped, you say. You should worship. Let me put it this way. Every single thing you pay attention to, you're worshiping. Okay? Every single thing you pay attention to, you're worshiping. How much attention you give it is the level of worship that you give it. If you don't know God, you don't know who God is, then you don't even know what you're worshiping. You're worshiping Minecraft, Fortnite, you're worshiping your cell phone. They should get the rest of them out of here, Pathy. Every Muslim in here is probably worshiping their cell phone more than they're worshiping Allah. You pray 5 times a day to Allah. Cool. How much time do you spend on your phone? You're like, I'm out of here. You should be like, I'm out of here, right? I feared from your uncle. Dude, Allah is not called all-loving in the Quran. They say that he's all-merciful. He says he's all-merciful. But he's all-merciful only to his slaves. Only to his slaves. He shows so much mercy to his slaves. Oh, isn't that great? All right, I'm going to read your guys' comments, man. You hang around because I'm going to respond to all this stuff. I just challenged Allah directly. All the Muslims that are running away, that's cool. But, dude, you can lay down the Quran, lay down the Hadith. Dude, I'm an open. I still believe after all this that you're the beam in my eye for every speck I see in yours. But at the moment, I'm challenging Allah. All right? So I want to know what I'm missing. So this is your chance. Clean it up. It says Allah is not a body. Every body is built up in this building. And up needs a creator, which means the body isn't the creator, it's created. All right. So you're telling me that Allah is not a body. How do you know for certain that Allah can't inhabit a body? Why couldn't Allah become a body? For fun. Like, why couldn't Allah go, you know what? I'm gonna come to earth and be a body. You think Allah's not powerful enough to come to earth with using a human body? Dude, man, that's a weak God. That means his powers aren't limited. It's limited. Allah's powers are limited because he can't become a man. Well, cool. All right, I get it. Does God love the 30 million kids a year that died from starving? Dude, I understand what you're saying, man. I tell you what, every single one of those 30 million kids that starved, Allah's going to throw them in the fire, dude. He's going to throw them all in the fire. You just have hope in Jesus. Emerson says, I worship Christ himself by leading a life worth living, honestly, giving, forgiving, and loving. Well, cool. That'll get you there. It's like, if you are a Muslim and you haven't actually read the teachings of Jesus Christ, they're not in the Quran, man. I'm praying that you actually read those. And it's a shame, man. It's a shame. It's a real, real shame, man. You get 500 times, you hear the story of Moses 500 times, not a single teaching of Jesus Christ is actually in the Quran. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I hate to tell you, man, but Jesus Christ, he's more useful than Moses. He's more useful than Lot. He's more useful than Noah. Why wouldn't the angel Gabriel acknowledge that, man? Jesus Christ, what he teaches in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John should have been included in the Quran. But I understand that if they actually include anything that Jesus teaches in the Quran, that's a big problem for Allah. It's a really big problem. He don't like Jesus. Man, you just don't. Man, Allah guide your heart, brother. You're not fair to Islam, dude. I spent 18 hours on the Quran. And I've been threatened with hell over 150 times. All right? I'm not interested in Allah's paradise. Your heaven that you guys describe sucks, dude. The heaven of Islam is terrible. Unless you're like one of these gigolos who just likes to get it on all the time. Dude, man, your alcohol doesn't even get you a buzz, man. I don't even drink alcohol. You don't have drugs. You get the women. That's cool. All right. What about the women? What's in it for them? why would a woman want to go to paradise? To be one of the gigolos of one of the men? Egg glasses. Heaven is relative to each human based on condition. There you go, save man, woman. Thank you. But I will tell you, straight up, that what's described in the Quran, if you go to that version of paradise, it will become a hell very quick. I'm talking with a matter of months, if not years. An eternity of what he describes in the Quran, you will choose the fire. 100% agree. Just like it's oral written in Torah, dude. What I'm telling you guys, okay. There's also a Quran, which is direct revelation and for understanding. If you had read the Hadith, dude, the Hadith is huge, isn't it? Tell me about the Hadith. It's super huge. I mean, after the Quran, I'm gonna need a second, man, because that really has been shaking me up, man. I've never been so like angry in my life, man. I'm the kind of person. I read the Tao Te Ching, I read the Bhagavad Gita. I read the teachings of Buddha. I read the Upanishads. I've tried to read the Quran twice. But when I really muscled through it out of pure love for you guys, and not for Allah, just for you guys, man, it really was hard, man. Brian, have you died? I have Brian. God is very real. Dude, yes. Thank you very much for your direct testimony in a state. So you say God is very real? Tell me your testimony. Tell me your experience. I've had a direct encounter with God as well. And that's how I know for a fact that God would not throw anybody in the fire unless he absolutely had to. And even then, I mean, it's questionable. God feels the pain of every single person on this planet. You guys think Allah doesn't. I know for a fact that the God of gods does, which means you got a messed up Quran. It's been corrupted. It's been corrupted. How do I know? Because my direct experience contradicts that, man. There's not a single person that's going to be thrown in the fire or whatever of any kind of pain and suffering that Allah, if you think Allah is God, wouldn't feel. If Allah doesn't feel it, it means he's Satan. Allah is another name for the Father. All right. Okay, so I'll put it this way. When Moses went up on the mountain, he encountered a God. He was given a name, right? Well, in the Bible, he's called the I am that I am in English. But when you go back to the Hebrew, it's something else. Why doesn't Allah address himself at least one time by the same name he gave Moses? They went over the story of Moses like 7 times, and I was like, okay, I hear you, Mr. Allah. Okay, I hear you about the fires and damnations. Here comes the story of Moses again. And not a single time did he go, oh, I called myself this then. Now I'm calling myself this now. He didn't clarify that. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Yeah, I honestly don't know. Okay, you will not be able because you don't understand both books. So you actually there's actually a book of heaven and hell. You have like a Tibetan Book of the Dead style thing in Islam. Well, I sure hope so. Because what you got just in the Quran ain't selling it to me. I would choose the fire. I'd be like, I go up and I see Allah after I die. It's like, okay, I did all your stuff. But you know what? I'm taking the fire anyway. I want to be in the fire with my friends. I want to do everything I can with my friends in the fire to show them love. Because they're not going to get any love in paradise, according to the Quran. They're going to get some kind of fake thing. And I don't know what that's about. Islam and Sharia law is slavery and grapes murder. Okay, man. Dude, I love the Muslim people in the sense that I love that they're serious about their religion. Dude, everything I'm saying right now is between me, Allah, and the Quran. It's between me and them. Nothing personal on you guys, man. Nothing personal. But whoever wrote the Tao Te Ching was smarter than Gabriel. This guy named Lao Tzu. Dude, the Tao Te Ching, dude, I spent 18 hours on the Quran, okay? This isn't even the Bible, man. This is something written in China. Dude, you could read this in like a day and a half. It's called the Tao Te Ching. You read 2 lines of this thing right here. 2 lines in, you're going to get about all the wisdom that you got out of the entire Quran. And I'm not exaggerating. And I don't know if you're allowed to read books. And maybe the Hadith is better, man. Maybe the Hadith is better, but I'm just saying, man. It's not just subjective. Dude, I'll give you something objective. Hold on. Don't run away from me now. Let me give you something objective. Okay? Allah tells you to do stuff, right? Can you imagine a God giving symbol of camel? Okay. Can you imagine if God giving a symbol of camel to people in Alaska who've never seen a camel? Would that be a fair God? Okay. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, man. I mean, God has to make himself known to each culture. I understand that. But I'm gonna give you guys an objective analysis of the Quran, okay? Then you guys don't have to agree with me. When you open up the Quran, how often does Allah give you something that you can use that's not a direct order that if you don't follow it, you go to hell? Almost every single thing that Allah tells you to do, you've got to do it, but it doesn't actually help you encounter God. It doesn't help you understand the nature of reality outside that He creates the universe. The only exception is chapter 13, which He tells you your life is a parable, which that is true. But the most of it, you don't get anything of use that you can use to find God. Matter of fact, He says you don't get to find God till after you die. Everything I do is a higher source. Doesn't matter what the name's called by. Okay. Well, the reason why with Moses, why it matters, why it's the I am that I am, because God is revealing to you who He actually is. He's not just saying that He's God in the Torah. He's saying that the I am that I am is the God of consciousness. And your first person consciousness of the I am is how you connect to a direct experience with God. So why in the Quran would they edit that out? That's ridiculous. It's almost like He's trying to keep you from God. Whoever wrote that. Man. Because if you claim that Muhammad wrote the Quran, then he would write, dude, I 100% don't think that Muhammad wrote the Quran. Dude, don't worry about that, man. Peace be upon him. Dude, I don't know if he did half the stuff in Hadith either. I haven't read it. I'm pretty confident that Muhammad couldn't read or write, because what I experienced in the Quran did not sound like somebody from like a really educated background. It sounded like someone who was piecing together pieces of a lot of memorized material, like I heard, and then repeating the same stories over and over and over again. And that's what it sounded like to me. All right. The Jewish people, I mean, hate them or love them, they are very careful to not be quite as redundant as that. The way they organize their Torah and stuff, there's some redundancy, but it's nothing like that, man. And it's probably because they're really into the law and all that. Like I said, not putting them on a pedestal. But the real gems of the Bible, if you want to know what's going to help you in the Bible the most, is the person that was left out the most in the Quran, which is Jesus Christ, His actual teachings. Forget that He's God for a moment. Forget that He's God for a moment. Read His actual teachings. Is it in the Hadith? Like, am I missing something? Love the beard. Thank you, man. Thank you. You know what? Like I said, I have love for my Muslim brothers, and there's a lot of things that I would tell you about Islam that I like. Like this whole thing where you're not supposed to wear shoes, man. You're in a holy place. I know that's legit. Man. I got confirmation from God there. So there are some things in that stuff that you can use. But I got to say, if you're so busy on Islam and you're doing all this stuff, trying to check all the boxes to make sure you don't go into the fire, that's a big distraction from you actually seeking out God Himself. One more time, dude. You're fired. You're fired. In the fire. Right, man. So if God Himself, the Christian God, so people were talking crap about the Christian God, right? Christian God is the God of love. Okay, what if He throws me in the fire? What if He throws me in the fire? Oh, well, man. I'd be like, okay, that's cool, man. I mean, the truth is that if He throws me in the fire, He already gave me I have a direct experience with God, which means there's no fire He can throw me in where He's not there. Because my God is with me always. Like, He is part of my being, in a sense. This Jesus Christ thing as God is a lot more than just some dude who was born 2,000 years ago. Humans themselves are more than just animals, guys. Right? Just letting you guys know. And animals are still pretty important too. Allah is the King of Kings. King of what, man? Like the King of hell? Dude, He talks about hell at least 10 times more than He talks about heaven in the Quran. He really loves hell. Like, Allah puts most of His attention on hell in the Quran. He wants to make sure He's going to throw you in the fire and nothing you can do about it. My Jewish DNA, says Paffy, says, has been ancestry back to the Israelites, Moses bloodline, but I'm no more than any conscious creations here. That's right, man. Okay, here we go. Jaro says, Muhammad the fake prophet. Dude, tell me why you think Muhammad's a fake prophet. I have not read the Hadith, and from my understanding, he didn't write the Quran, man. He heard it, people wrote it down, man. So I'm not challenging Muhammad, peace be with him, because I don't know everything he did and didn't do, but I am challenging Allah. And I've heard that Allah can send you crazy dreams. And I'm going to say, Allah, give me the craziest dream that you got. And let's make it lucid. And throw me in the fire in the dream. I want to feel the fire in the dream. If Allah can't throw me in the fire in one of my dreams, then he's not the God of gods. Dude, he's not required to obey my command. But dude, man, that's how I'm calling him out. He can at least send me a dream. All right. He can at least send me a dream. He can throw me in the fire. Let's go. Let's go, dude. I want to feel that damn fire, dude. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'll go to bed naked, man. I'll go to bed naked, dude. I'll get thrown in that fire, man. My real link is to the one in the birth code born 933 birth date. Yeah, adds up to 33. That's right. Okay, what about Jacob and Rebecca? Well, tell me about Jacob and Rebecca. Okay, Baka Shinfeld 228 says, if I hear God in my head to tell me to, okay, you're the one that's all about, okay, the killing children. Okay, he'll go to hell. He'll go straight to heaven. Should I do it? Okay, if God talks to you in your head to tell you to do something evil, that's not the same as encountering God firsthand, like Job. If you encounter God firsthand, this is what happens. You need to know this regardless of whoever you are, because you're all going to experience this. So here we go. Here's a sneak preview of the real afterlife. So if you can experience it right now. When you encounter God directly, the hallucination of what you're seeing the world in the past tense. Your brain is hallucinating most of it, dumping 90% of the data, projecting your beliefs onto it, and that's what you see. That gets dumped. And what the hallucination of life breaks down, and you encounter the God that's at the core of every single thing from the inside out. And you experience who you were before you were given a name. You remember why you were born. And you feel the emotion of God. And it's not hate and rage. It's pure love. Love at the highest possible extent. So much love that he'd forgive the most evil person ever. He wouldn't throw the most evil person in the fire if he could keep him from it. This is the God that you experience. And if you're telling me that I experience Satan, dude, Satan doesn't have that kind of ability. But I just told you. Time and space breaks down. Past, present, future breaks down. You go, well, that was Satan. Satan loves me that much. Satan loves all the people in the fire that much. You would choose hell. If the God that appeared before me, guys, was the devil, you would choose the devil. Because God didn't just appear. Like, all of reality broke down and the truth of everything came out of that. And I've heard that there's some Muslims that might have had a similar experience. I don't think they got it from reading the Quran. Maybe they got it from the Hadith, man. All right, he says, yeah, of course, he can go through people's hell because they eat and drink what Allah gives them and pray the idols. Dude, man. Dude, your whole religion's an idol, man. Every religion that's not giving you results is an idol. The purpose of the religion is to experience God firsthand. If your purpose of the religion is to escape eternal torment in hell, then you're just doing the religion purely because you're afraid. That's it. That's it, man. You're not going to want to spend eternity with someone that you're afraid of. You're not going to spend eternity with someone that at any given moment they can cast you in the fire. Like, are you kidding me? 933, the Trinity code. Awesome, dude. I didn't think about that. Yeah, of course you can go through hell because, okay, I read that. I'm a little bit far behind, guys. I'm going to read some more comments. Sorry, guys. All right, in Islam, they have 99 beautiful names, and that really helped. Dude, there is some beauty in some of the poetry. There was a few chapters in the Quran that, I was moved for a minute because he stopped threatening hell for a second. But once he gets back to that damnations and fire stuff, man, I don't know, man. I know it's too much for me. Do you believe in divine command? I don't know what you mean by divine command. Tell me what that means. Drink water, please. Your whole Christianity crumbles in John 17:3, dude. Every religion crumbles when you have a direct experience with God. When you have a direct experience with God, your atheism crumbles. Islam crumbles. Christianity crumbles. Judaism crumbles. Greek mythology crumbles. But after you have that experience, you understand when you open up a book what it's trying to do. Is it trying to help you experience God? Do you know who Jesus Christ really is? He's way more than a man. Way more than a prophet. He's the way, the truth, and the life. The truth. What's that mean? If it's true, it's Jesus. If it's alive, you're experiencing Jesus. If you're experiencing the world for what it really is, that can only happen with the help of Jesus. All right. So, is that God? You'll know. You'll know when you experience it what that is. God's a weak word for what Jesus really is. Smoked already. Pappy 60 says, be tolerant. Don't time anyone out. Yeah. He's pretty cool, dude. Stacy Morgan. He's really good about, for the most part. Yeah. He's really good. He really tolerates quite a bit. The Buddha said similar before Jesus, but 500 years earlier. Yes. Patrick Chaplin, D3J. You know why the Buddha said similar things to Jesus 500 years earlier? You know why? Because they're both right. A lot of what the Buddha says is right. I can testify 100% if you put the Buddha to the test, he will take you almost all the way. You will get about halfway to God. Because he will annihilate all the illusions, all the things you think you believe in, all the attachments. What's going to happen, though, is ultimately you're going to get to a point where you've got to choose between love or enlightenment. And once you reach that point, the only choice that you can get, the only way you can get enlightenment is if you. So if you guys are practicing Buddhism and you get to the point where I'm down to just only love and enlightenment, if you choose enlightenment, you don't get it. You got to actually choose love. And if you choose love, then Jesus Christ becomes revealed, God becomes revealed, everything you need to know becomes at you. That's how it works. But yeah, a lot of things that are said about the Buddha ain't true in the sense that the Buddha wasn't alive to defend himself. And all that's half lies anyway. What really matters is, can you use it to get to God? Can you use it? Is this stream about Christianity? The stream is about Christianity to the extent that it's about Jesus Christ helping you have a direct encounter with God. And Jesus Christ is a lot more than a prophet. A lot more than a prophet. People say, well, you don't worship him as God. What I'm going to say is a lot worse than what probably offend Muslims more. He might be more than what most people think God is. So most people have a conception of who God is. God does this, God does that. Jesus Christ might be greater than what most people imagine God to be. That's my position on Jesus Christ. He's greater than what most people imagine God to be. You take that for what it is. Yeah, man. Shut up, dude. Why don't you replace it? Give me your enlightenment. Dude, as people come out of here and you're the last one standing, go ahead, man. I'll read it. Brian Funkus says, everything you're talking about, you have no proof. Yes, I can prove it. I can prove it, man. I can prove it, but you're probably going to run away before I do because you're afraid of God. Because you've been reading too much Quran. You've been reading too much hellfire and brimstone. You've been reading too much into the Christians that threaten you with hell. Dude, man. Do I know Greek fluently? I don't know Greek fluently, man. Does it look like I speak Greek? Get out of here with that. Why don't you tell me what it means? Brian got no proof of your claims, dude. This is how you get proof of your claims. You seek out a direct experience with God, and you get direct evidence proof. You get the direct evidence. You get no proof. You don't got any people with PhDs to tell you that proves God's real. You don't got the scripture. You don't got the live verse. You don't got the proof in the Quran, the proof in the Tao Te Ching. You don't got the Democrats and Republicans telling you. Dude, the only proof you can trust is direct experience. And I can tell you flat out, there's certain things you can do. You can run an experiment in your own life. You do that, and you'll have an encounter with God. Are you afraid to do the kinds of things that it takes? Do you got the guts to seek out God for real and try it, I got the guts to challenge Allah. Let me show you. Allah, come to me in a dream and throw me in the fire in my dream, and I want to feel it. You know why I'm not afraid of that? Because I've encountered the God of gods. And what I experienced from that was much worse than what Allah could ever do. When I say worse, I don't mean painful. I mean extreme. It was more extreme than Allah's fire. Experiencing God himself is more extreme than Allah's fire, man. That's what I'm trying to say, man. Jesus is not a God. He is no other than God. There you go. Saved Woman's got it. Saved Woman's got it, man. I try to describe this in a way because there's a lot of Christians that are asleep too. There are a lot of Christians that are asleep. There's a lot of atheists that are asleep. Apparently there's some Muslims that know what's up. But the truth of the whole matter is God, Jesus Christ, if you're stuck on worshiping him as God and that's throwing you off, what you imagine Jesus Christ to be is never going to add up to who he actually is. He's much more than any God you've imagined. Let's put it that way. You go, well, if you think Allah's greater than that, well, put Jesus Christ to the test. You actually need to read Jesus Christ and test it, though. You can't just read the Quran. Unfortunately, I was praying. I was like, please have something like from Jesus Christ in the Quran that you can use. And there just wasn't any, man. I mean, Jesus talks as a baby. That gives you an argument, and that's it, man. A God that died, yeah. Why can't God come as a man and die? Have you really thought about that? Wouldn't that limit God's power? Because the truth of the matter is God can be at more than one place at once. Obviously, he's omnipresent, right? So he can be in more than one place at once. Dude, man, Jesus can be in multiple places at once, and his body could die. But is Jesus just a body? Is Jesus merely flesh and bone? Is Jesus merely his blood? The blood of Jesus and his flesh has power, but Jesus transcends that according to the Bible, for sure. And if the Quran calls him the Word of God, he's more than a body. Man, he's more than a meat. So his body could die, but Jesus ain't going anywhere. All right, here we go. He's not asking anyone to believe. He's saying, I'm advocating for personal experience. Dude, what I'm saying is what you need to do for your proof is there's a few things I can help you with, man. My only fear of God is missing out on him. See, that's wise. Saved man, woman is wise, and you're being very tolerant, even though I'm being a little irrational. What makes me irrational is I don't like being threatened with hell for 3-4 hours straight. All right. I don't think anybody really likes that. So I understand, man. But the truth is that there are things that you can do to help you have a direct encounter with God, and this channel is designed to do that. One thing that you can do, which is in the Quran, is you start looking at your life as a parable. Okay, if you're Muslim and you haven't ran away yet, which you probably have, you need to do what it says in chapter 13 and start to recognize that everyday life God's talking to you through every direction. You try that. You also need to recognize that every person in your life is a beam in your eye, and for every speck you see in theirs, which is guaranteed every single person. Every single person in your immediate family represents the hardest lessons you have to learn. You start listening really closely to that, God will start opening things up to you. And then you start figuring out what you've been worshiping instead of God. And you put that before God. And it's not just idols, man. It's not just idols. All right, we're talking about LGBTQ is an idea, not reality. Do I understand what you're saying? Will Miller 6731, are you Muslim? No, being converted to a religion from my current religion is impossible because I had a direct experience with God. I will say, though, that I am a Christian, and I pronounce that Jesus Christ is Lord because Jesus Christ is required for you to have a direct encounter with God, and Jesus Christ is greater than any God you can imagine. All right? So if I just say Jesus Christ is God, that's misleading people because they don't understand how powerful Jesus Christ really is. He's the way, the truth, and the life. If you're alive, praise Jesus. If you know something that's actually true, praise Jesus. But that's a lot more difficult than you might think. The only thing that you can know that's true for a fact is if you have a direct encounter with God. The rest of it, you got to take other people's word for it. You can't trust your brain. You can't trust your senses. You can't trust any of that. The only thing you can trust is your first person direct experience minus the hallucination. And only Jesus Christ can do that for you. You got to ask God for help. I'm asking God for help, man. I'm even asking Allah for help. I'm saying, Allah, at the moment, I'm questioning whether you're the same as the God of gods. Be you the same God that appeared before me in the way that you did and I described. Give me a dream of hellfire, and I want to feel the burns. Okay? There you go. Channeling one way to experience. Yeah. Channel it. Yes. Anybody who have any other advice to people who want to actually encounter this? There are teachings of yogas. Some of that stuff helps. But what I'm saying is that the fast way is what I told you. When you open up the Bible and you read Jesus Christ, you apply that. You actually love your neighbor as yourself, and you seek God with all your heart, soul, and mind. Not just love him, you seek him. If you love someone, you want to hear from him today. When you do the Lord's Prayer, you ask for your daily bread. Hello there, Luke Taylor. Tell me what you believe. Welcome, another 666 dude. Allah. Someone here sacrifice animals to Cthulhu? No, I didn't see that in the Quran, man. I didn't see that in the Quran. I didn't see that in the Bible either. But you can tell me what you got, man. What do you worship, man? What's your religion? UK Storm says, I believe that consciousness is composed of being able to think, feel, and given when a mind is born. We likely have no God with a lowercase g, I hear you saying. I'd need direct proof of existence to have a new view of religion. Perfect, UK Storms. You're really close. You're really close. You're looking for the direct experience. Yes, you come to the right place. Because I tell you, you can get one. And you don't have to have blind faith in religion to do it. I have a video called Have a Direct Experience with God Without Religion. I recommend you checking that out and giving that a try. But there's other things that I'm revealed to daily, and you guys are helping me by asking me the right kinds of questions because I've had a direct encounter with God. And as you ask me the right kinds of questions, it's easier for me to reveal to you what I know. Because I do know some things about this. Not from reading a book, but from direct experience. I accidentally, hold on. I didn't mean to delete the message. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Gifted by Messiah said, God knows what we've been through and has unlimited forgiveness. Right, unlimited forgiveness. That's right. Understanding and unfailing love for us. And if we follow the 10 commandments, repent for breaking them, and praise him more every day. Dude, those are all good things, man. Gifted by Messiah. Those are all good things. I like it. Dick Johnson said, is this Hugo Strange? Ain't you supposed to be in Arkham? Are you talking about Arkham Dark Knight or whatever? I love the game. All right, dude, I might have hidden you. I didn't mean to hide you if I did. I hit the button. So I'll unhide you for as soon as I get a chance. All right, guys, so here we go, guys. I am challenging Allah. All right? I'm challenging Allah, and I'm calling out to him. Like I tell you to call out to Jesus and to call out to the God of gods. And I'm saying, Allah, bring it. Bring it. I read your Quran, and I wasn't impressed. I want more. I want more. If you don't give me the hellfire in my dream sometime soon, I'm going to assume that you're not the God I experienced. I want to feel it. I want to feel all your threats. I want to feel the pain of all the threats that you put on these people. Should it be true? Put it on me. Put it on me. That's the spirit of Jesus Christ, by the way, what I just gave you. The spirit of Jesus Christ is, I want to experience the pain of everybody on earth and all of their torment in hell forever in one blow. So I'm going to use Jesus Christ on Allah. The Jesus Christ that's not in the Quran. I'm going to put it to Allah. And he can tell me whether or not that's God or not. I'm like, Allah, Jesus died on our sins on the cross. You said that didn't happen. Well, put my ass on the cross. I'll take it. I'll take the punishment for everybody. And here's the deal. You can still punish them too. I just want to experience all the pain you're going to put on every single person in the fire tonight when I go to bed. And I'll pray for it. If Allah doesn't answer, dude, I don't know what to say, man. I guess he's going to wait till after I die. Oh, Jesus Christ did that for us, man. Jesus Christ did what I just said. It sounds evil, but it's not evil. It's the most loving thing you could possibly imagine. That's why it was edited from the Quran. Because the Quran isn't about love. Does Allah love you? Well, you can interpret it that way if you want to. But there is no, I didn't see the word love translated into English in a single line of the Quran. Not a single time. Nope. There was no line I saw in the Quran where it says Allah really loves you. He says you make a great slave. Then I may not throw you in the fire. And you get your great reward. That's not the same as somebody coming down and taking a hit for you. That's not the same, man. Greatest man in history, had no servants, yet he called him master. Had no degree, yet they called him teacher. Had no medicines, yet they called him healer. Had no army, yet kings fear him. Who are we talking about? Lay it down there, Rick Hearn. I have an idea who that might be. Hey, guess who? Yeah! Hey, you're going to like this Greek mythology dude. Hang out for just a second. Greek mythology dude, I just challenged Allah. I called him out. I finished his Quran. I called him out. He threatened all these people, all the disbelievers in hell. And I told Allah, since he's not allowed to appear before me because he said he wasn't going to do it, because Allah doesn't do that kind of thing. What I said is, I heard that you give people dreams. I want you to give me a Freddy Krueger dream where I take the pain of every single person you're fixing to throw into hell. And you can still throw them into hell if you want to. But I want to take their punishment too, all at once, purely out of love. If Allah grants that for me, then so be it. If Allah doesn't grant that for me, he's afraid of a man named Jesus Christ. So afraid that he didn't even put his teachings in the Quran. So afraid of Jesus, he's afraid of putting one teaching, just one teaching of Jesus Christ in the Quran. That's how afraid Allah is of this dude. Why isn't Allah throwing Jesus Christ in the fire if he's that afraid of him? I don't understand. I don't get it, man. I could tell Jesus to bring it because he's a liar. And dude, tell Jesus to bring it, man. I tell you the same thing. Put your Bible, put it off to the side, call out to God, list out all the things that you don't like, see if he appears before you. If not, be like, okay. But you really need to listen to see if he really responds. There's many ways that God talks to you. If you seek him out in love and in passion, and with all your conscious being, you pray for that enough, you're gonna get it, man. You're gonna get it, man. You lit a candle for Lady Athena. Well, thank you. Thank you for doing that, man. All right. I don't have a problem with Athena. Athena hasn't told me to go to hell today. Did Athena tell you to go to hell? Robert Hepto? Did Athena threaten you with a fire? I hope not, man. I know that in Greek mythology, sometimes they do that, though. But I didn't get any threats from Athena today. So I'm on neutral ground with Athena. Whatever God decides to do with Athena, it's up to God, you know. God loves you all. Thank you. Jesus is always around you. Thank you. True. Muhammad had no witnesses for anything. Man, I don't know the history enough. I can't. At the moment, I've only gotten so far on all that. The Trinity isn't even in the corrupted Bible. Dude, the Quran, man. Listen to me for a moment. You include the miracles of Jesus Christ, but you don't include a single teaching of Jesus Christ in the Quran. The Quran by default's corrupted because it doesn't even have a single teaching of Jesus Christ. I thought for sure that it did. Why would you say the Gospels are corrupted, but then you say the Quran is pure, but wouldn't you want like a pure gospel? Like the Gospel of Allah? The Gospel of Allah, right? Yeah, I'm going to ask you, saved man, woman, if you're still here. Here's the question I have. Why didn't Allah, even if he was a demon, even if he wasn't really the God of gods, why didn't he just put a fake gospel in the Quran? Like, why didn't Allah just go ahead, tell Muhammad, tell whoever it was he was telling, tell the angel Gabriel, say, hey, these Christians in the future are going to be asking questions about Jesus. And maybe the miracle thing is not enough. Maybe we need to put like a real gospel inside of the Quran and call it the gospel of Muhammad, the gospel of Allah, the gospel of, whatever. And then you can rewrite the entire story of Jesus with all of his teachings in it and just slap it in the Quran, man. Then I wouldn't have anything to say. It would shut me up, man. It would shut me up. But no, man. No. It looks like Allah is afraid of Jesus. And I don't know why you ain't thrown him in the fire. What's up, man? Welcome, Chris Davis 666. Yeah. I was a babysitter. Cool. Cool. The Quran is the gospel of Allah? Dude, why doesn't Allah put the teachings of Jesus Christ in any form in the Quran? Why not? Isn't there a single teaching of Jesus Christ that's not corrupted? Is every single thing in the Bible 100% corrupted? If that's true, then Allah should have put the teachings of Jesus Christ in the Quran uncorrupted. Because now as a Muslim, you've got to flip through all this and you've got to try to figure out which teachings of Jesus is corrupted and which teachings aren't. And dude, that's not fair. Because you might pick a teaching that was corrupted. How would you know? God doesn't talk to you. How would you know which ones are corrupted and which ones aren't? Like, you're screwed, man. You just like, well, just in case, I'm just not going to read any of these gospels, even though the Quran tells you to. All right? Why didn't Allah go ahead and give you a gospel for the Quran? Is what I'm asking. This is the direct question. The Quran cites Jesus' teachings. However, many people today are arguing that Jesus' teachings are corrupted. Muslims have argued this. Which teachings are corrupted? The only way you're going to know is if Allah would have told you. And because he didn't, if we were going to go with what Allah told you, then they're all true. Then Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are true. Do you guys agree with that? Quotes Jesus. It's not a teaching of Jesus, though. Dude, let me show you a Bible real quick. Man. Can you see this? See that? All those red letters? Every single word of that is something that Jesus said. Those are just 2 pages. That's just 2 pages. 1 page of this is more than what you get out of the entire Quran. Are you going to tell me that all of that is corrupted and all of that is lies? If it's not, then you need to open up a Bible and read it. And you need to discover, for example, the Sermon on the Mount. Have you guys ever read that? It's a quote from Jesus. Isn't Jesus teaching something? No. Well, no. No, man. The only thing he's teaching you in the Quran is that he's a slave to Allah, essentially. And he did miracles. And that's not the same as Jesus telling you how to live your life. That's not the same as Jesus telling you how to discover God firsthand. That's not the same as Jesus telling you what you should be doing when it comes to morality or any of these things. Not a single parable of Jesus Christ is in the Quran, although parables are told. No, I mean, the one parable that would really hurt you guys if you read it, I mean, when I say hurt you guys, I mean, I don't mean in a bad way. I mean, you'd have to like really take it to Allah, is the prodigal son. Read the prodigal son. Okay? The prodigal son is when somebody goes, leaves their father, does the evil things, and the father accepts him back even though he left him and chose to leave him. This is not something that's taught in the Quran. The Quran tells you if you leave Islam, you are going in the fire, and that's what's up. All right. Islam teaches us about how to live just through Jesus, but through other prophets as well. Dude, Islam doesn't tell you jack about Jesus other than he did miracles. I mean, I say Islam. I mean, the Quran. I haven't read all of the Hadith. Sorry. I mean, the Quran does not teach you anything about Jesus that's useful. What is one thing that the Quran teaches you about Jesus Christ that's useful? Go ahead. Put it down. Something that you can use. Put something down that's taught in the Quran about Jesus that you can use. I was looking for this specifically. I couldn't find it. I spent 18 hours on this, man. No worries, dude. Cool. I just gave him examples of Quran citing Jesus. Dude, where? No, you need to copy and paste. Dude, I don't have a physical Quran on me, man. I listen to the audiobook and I use my phone. You need to copy and paste something that Jesus says in the Quran that you can actually use to have an encounter with God or to help your neighbor or something. Something that you can actually use in your life. Okay, because the Bible has about, 50 pages worth. So why wouldn't those be included in the Quran if they were all corrupted? That's silly, man. That's what I'm saying, man. The Quran said Mary is the sister. Okay, Mary is the sister of Moses. But that doesn't help, though. How does that help you? Muslims never read Quran. It's boring. They only quote Bible. Dude, I think that's true, man. But but the thing about it is there's a lot of Muslims that don't read the Quran, they memorize it. It's actually crazier than what you think. They don't actually, a lot of them don't actually read it. A lot of them have it memorized. which means it's deep, man. Some of them do study it though. So now there are some Muslims that actually take it seriously. Muslims do take their religion pretty seriously, actually. All right, Wild Insights. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I have challenged Allah. You guys want to know my challenge? I'll tell you what I've challenged Allah with. Would you say if your girlfriend suddenly got an Italian, young, handsome roommate because my nightmare came true? Cool, man. That's awesome. Islam is the right religion, you say? Christians took the religion and changed it? Dude, Islam is the right religion if you get results. All right? If you get results in Islam and you encounter Allah firsthand, all right? You encounter Allah firsthand and you have a mystical experience, and Islam worked. Therefore, it's true. But if you don't have any kind of experience with Allah, you need to call him out, like I'm about to do. You ready?
I challenge you, Allah, to a duel. Come to me in my dream and throw me in the fire. Throw me in the fire. I want to feel the pain of every single person you're about to throw in the fire. And I want to wake up burning. I want to wake up feeling the agony of all the people you're going to torture. And I want to do it for purely out of love.
And you can still torture them anyway if you want to, but I want to feel their pain too. I'm going to pray that tonight. I'm going to see if Allah answers. Okay? See, Allah, I don't know which way Mecca is, but I'm going to do it towards Mecca too, guys. I'm not afraid. I'm going to find out what direction Mecca is in my house. I'm going to draw a freaking arrow and tape it to my wall to make sure Allah can hear me. Because if he answers, and he does this thing, and he can actually take control of my dream, he's at least got some kind of power. I have to at least admit that he's real. I know he's real, but I mean, he's definitely like something. And secondly, my challenge to Allah is what Jesus did. He took the suffering for everybody. He took the hit for all of us. So I'm challenging Allah with the story of Jesus Christ on the cross, but I want him to do it to me. Do it to me, Allah. Do it in my dreams. Dude, I want it to be a good dream. And if you want to be most merciful, Allah, dude, you can throw some women in there if you want to, but I'm not interested. I'm not interested in your paradise. All right? I'm not interested in your hooker paradise. I mean that as a joke, man. Whatever it is, man. I don't know, man. I haven't read the hadith. I know they're all married. So it doesn't work that way. Please answer me. Do you say God in Aramaic? Dude, here's the deal about your God in Aramaic. Have you read what God means in the Torah? Have you actually took the time to know that when Moses heard God on the mountain, it meant more than God? It meant the I am that I am, which means Moses in the book of Exodus is giving you a clue on who God really is. He's calling himself more than God. He's telling you that your very conscious being comes from God. And he's the God of your conscious being. And your connection way to experience God directly is through your first person experience. That's why calling him Allah is not enough. It's not good enough. It doesn't get you there. Even if you are worshiping the same God, it doesn't get you there. You're going to miss. Religious dogma is hilarious. It is hilarious, especially the hell stuff. Especially the hell. Dude, the hell thing's a scam. Guys, the hell thing's a scam. I'm telling you, man. Threats of hell won't get you any closer to God. You're going to spend your entire life worried about hell, and you're going to be afraid to challenge your God in any kind of way, because if you do, you get thrown in the fire. The Bible wants you to call out to God, cry out to God, scream at God. Do what Job did. Job was shaking his fist at God. The Bible has you like going after him, taking it to him. There was a dude who was like on the Tower of Babel. He shot an arrow at God or whatever, man. They ain't kidding around, man. It's not just Allah throwing people in the fire. People are coming after God, man. They're building a big tower. Was the Tower of Babel in the Quran? Anybody know? You contradict yourself with the Bible as you use it when you need to. Dude, I use the Bible because it's useful. I'll use the Quran whenever it's useful. Give me something from the Quran that's useful, and I'll use it. That's my deal. All hail the flying spaghetti monster. which is actually real. The flying spaghetti monster is real, and I'm going to prove it. But you probably ran away. That was probably a hit and run. If you want proof of the flying spaghetti monster's true existence, I'll give it to you. You say Jesus is a scam? I said fake Jesus is a scam. Direct experience Jesus is not a scam. Direct experience Jesus that gets you a direct encounter with God is the opposite of scam. Whoa! That's why it's better to be an atheist. You don't have to worry about that. Dude, you might be closer as an atheist, man. But I'm telling you, is the reason why you might be closer is because if you're not afraid of hell, so if you're an atheist, stick with me for a minute, man. I love you, brother. If you're not afraid of hell and you don't care about heaven and you're only concerned about what's true, all you really have to do as an atheist to find God is actually seek out God. That's it. That's it, man. Just actually seek out God. Whatever book you open, you go, you know what? You know, this religious stuff's crazy, but you know what? I'm going to test it like a scientist. Let's test Jesus as a scientist. And you don't have to even test Jesus. Test the Buddha. The Buddha doesn't make you worship any gods. Test the Buddha out. Find out if what he does works. Test whatever Bhagavad Gita says. Try that. But as an atheist, you're kind of free for a moment to actually use your own discernment, which isn't very good, but it's better than being a slave to worrying about hell. So you will experience God as an atheist because you can't be an atheist forever. When you die and those chemicals are released in your brain and you think you're tripping out, you will lose your atheism. Your atheism will go away. So in those moments, you will have an experience that will transcend what you think your belief system is. What I'm saying is that you can go ahead and get started now. You don't have to wait until you die for that. All right, so glory be to God. Whoa, all right, what I miss? Chris Davis is a cool guy here. Yeah, he is a pretty cool guy. That 666 guy, man, a lot of these 666 guys, man, they actually love God, man. That's pretty crazy, man. They got the 666 in their name, but they actually care about having a direct experience with God. That's cool, man. So how many people here want to challenge Allah today? Hey, I want more than just me. If anybody else wants to do it. You do not know the origin of the flying spaghetti monster? Yeah, I do. Do not use 3821. Are you still here? Do you want to hear? I can prove to you the flying spaghetti monster is 100% true. So all you can do is you close your eyes and then you imagine him. Boom, he's real. You know why? Because there's a physical version inside your brain. But he's more real than that because God's real. And anything you imagine, God just imagined the flying spaghetti monster, which means what? That God has imagined it and it has to be true. Not true with a capital T. It's a half lie. Because your version of the flying spaghetti monster is a lie and God's version is actually true. Which means there is a physical version of the flying spaghetti monster that's real out there. He's just not the God of gods. All right, I just proved it for you. Great. Use that on a Christian if you can. Amish don't use phones. Yeah, I mean, I'm not Amish, but man, I wouldn't mind. Dude, I wouldn't mind raising my family that way. If I knew how to do it, I'd do it. Seriously, man. Dude, I don't mind doing all that. I think that'd be a great life. Seriously, man. Gina does says, oh yeah, let's talk of origin. Cool. Epstein don't really have an opinion. Don't know him. Don't know possibility of pedo ringleader. Usually elites. Oh yeah, I don't know much about Epstein. All right, guys, this has been really good. But I want you guys to do before you leave here, if you're an atheist, please do this. Okay, guys, if you're an atheist or you're a Muslim or you're Christian, whatever you are, I mean, if you have the courage to challenge Allah tonight, please tell me. If you have the courage. Anybody here have the courage to challenge Allah? If you have the courage to challenge Allah, say, I will challenge Allah. You type that in. Say, I will challenge Allah. Can I get anyone? Dude, they all ran away. Not a single person wants to challenge Allah. They're all afraid. Man, they're all really afraid of Allah. He was invented by a college student. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Because this flying spaghetti monster was based off of another god. And the God of gods, guys, the God of gods exists outside of time and space, which means he pre-existed the college student, which means that God actually gave him the idea for that. Oops. Unfortunately, all religions are invented by people. You can say that if you want to, but every single thing that we invent is real. Wouldn't you say? How do you invent something that's totally fake? Because if you imagine it, there's a real version of it. And the flying spaghetti monster, guys, the flying spaghetti monster is real. It's real in its consequences, and it's based off of another god. So it's a lesser god. The guy who invented the flying spaghetti monster read the Bible. That's what he did. Sorry, man. I hate to burst your bubble. Did you consider Buddhism as a religion with a set of principles to follow? Yes. Buddhism is decent, man. Like, you won't get you all the way to God, but Buddhism will help you with your atheism, and Buddhism will help you with your religion problem. Buddhism will smack down your religion problem, and it will smack down your atheism problem. And you'll replace it with something that you could actually use. And then once you're into the Buddhism thing, you're going to reach a point where you're going to ask yourself, what's worth suffering for? And you're going to discover the only thing that's worth suffering for is something that you really, really love, which is love itself. Once you break yourself down to that, you'll discover who God is, because you get a chance to choose between enlightenment or love. And some people will choose enlightenment and won't get enlightenment. But if you choose love, you'll actually encounter God. Prove nothing. What did you prove? Some college student came up with it? Oh, okay. They didn't prove anything, man. I proved that if you imagine it, it's in your brain. Do you believe you're a brain? Or do you believe in God? If you believe you're a brain, it means it's real. If you believe in God, it means it's real. Do you believe something else? What do you believe? What religion do I follow, bro? I follow my direct experience. I had a direct encounter with the living God. I experienced God firsthand. The reality of my reality, the hallucination broke down, guys. It was noon, 2017. And everybody needs to know that you're hallucinating right now. You're looking into the past tense. I have to keep telling you guys this. You don't realize that your brain is dumping 90% of the information and projecting your beliefs and religion onto it. So you're hallucinating all the time. If you can break through that hallucination through Jesus Christ, which is when God helps you, it's actually the truth, which is your direct experience. If you can do that, the hallucination breaks down. And you experience God from all directions, inside and out. Remember who you were before you were given a name. You know why you were born, and you experience this emotion, the love at the highest possible level. Past, present, and future breaks down. That's what happens. That's my religion. That's my religion, guys. All right, my phone's running out of power. Let's see. I'm going to read the last few comments here. Lucidity takes time to build. Yeah, you need that lucid dream, dude. I mean, if you're going to challenge Allah to a dream duel, all right, everybody here who's atheist, who's trying to fight me because they think I'm Christian, I want you guys to go ahead and challenge God. You challenge God, but don't forget to challenge the God of the Quran, which his name is Allah. And Allah does appear in dreams, so you need to pray for Allah to throw you in the hellfire in your dream so you can feel the burning. And he also throws this boiling water on your face and you just go, ah! You do that, and he'll make a believer out of you. Okay? Life for living. Go praise Allah. Your God ain't our God, dude. Who is your God? Is your God the one that wants to throw everybody in the fire? Well, I'm calling him out. I'm calling out Allah. I say, Allah, give me the dream of dreams. I want to feel the suffering of every single person that you're going to throw in the fire tonight. And I'm going to challenge you in the dream to a duel. And if you are the God of gods, you say you will appear in a dream, do so. And I'll challenge you with the power of Jesus Christ, which is what? My acceptance of taking the hit for someone else. That's what love is. And I will take the punishment and the hit for every single person that's suffering. Tonight, if you are real. Cool. You're my God. I'm giving you gold. Okay, dude. I'm almost out of power. Where's your gold at? Where's your gold at? Okay. Allah is the name of the chief god of the ancient Baldwin pantheon. The name became synonymous with God the same way the ancient Canaanite Yahweh became God. Dude, I understand exactly what you mean. Dude, you cannot put your faith and trust in God in that way. You need a direct experience. And you got to call out the God of gods, the I am that I am. That's the God you got to call out. All right? But if you're worried about these other gods, call them out one at a time and see if they do anything. Anything else? Allah is the master deceiver. I understand. I hope I'm scary. Am I more scary than Allah? Man, if I'm more scary than Allah, then you got a problem, man. You got a problem. All right, I'm about out of power, guys. I will be back. I will tell you tomorrow if Allah answered my prayer. I'm gonna go towards Mecca. I'm gonna say, Allah, give me your fire tonight.